Truth be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit.
Crossroads, life's tolls, life goes. I gotta win. W my lockdown. You can't rewind.
Hey, how are you guys doing today? This is your host, Sonya, with the Remember Who You Are 222 podcast. I have my guest, Paula, here with us today. How are you doing today, Paula?
I'm good. How are you, Sonya?
Good. I'm definitely glad to have another service member. You're like, I had one Army veteran, and so you're like the second service member I've had on my podcast. So
awesome. Happy to be
here. Okay, so just to introduce Paula a little bit. So she is a spiritual leader. She's an Army National Guard captain and an emerging voice in the field of consciousness, psychology, and transformation. With a heart rooted in service, she bridges the worlds of military leadership and spiritual awakening, offering sound baths, light language transmissions, and divine channeling to support healing and wholeness, especially for those in uniform. Okay. So awesome. I'm definitely interested in your story and how you came into doing, basically how you came into doing what you do now in uniform.
Wow, that was it was a long it took a long time for me to get to where I am, but not realizing that this is how it was supposed to happen. So at an early age during my childhood, I was abused emotionally, physically, sexually, mentally, to the point where I just ran away from home when I was 13. And I asked friends if I could live with them. I would live 3 months with one friend, 3 months with another friend. And thankfully, their parents allowed me to stay there because I would clean and cook and their kids wouldn't. So, and I got lucky. They never reported me to CPS or anything. So I feel like I was fortunate because I've heard a lot of horror stories as well with kids that have to go through that system as well. So I got myself through school. I found a job. And then I joined actually the Army Reserves back in 2007. I had just had my daughter, and I was telling my ex at that time, hey, maybe you should join and do something with your life. And he didn't want to go. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go because I just had that calling. I just felt like I needed to do it. And so the recruiter was like, okay, you got to lose all this weight and you got to wait till your baby's 6 months. So I lost the weight. As soon as she was 6 months, I took off. I ended up doing that for 2 years because she had some medical issues. That's my oldest daughter now. So I got out. So it was only 2 years. So I felt like that didn't really count. And then I got into another relationship and we were going to get married. And he asked, okay, well, how are you going to help with the wedding? Because I wasn't making a lot and I was working at the high school. So I was like, I've been having dreams of the military. I think I need to go back. I think I need to finish. I never finished. And he was not supportive at all. Then I asked, okay, well, maybe I could, go get lessons for singing because I love to sing. I used to sing with the University of Washington Mariachi Band. So I love to do all that stuff. He was like, no, I don't think that's right for you. And then my other option was, okay, well, I'm going to go back and get my master's. He's like, you're going to get more debt. So it was anything that I brought up, it wasn't being supported. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to the military. I feel like I need to go back. So I did everything, did Army National Guard. I already had my bachelor's degree, so I was able to go the officer route. And I did that. And during officer candidate school, that's when I was really triggered. Everything started coming up. And I would go back to the barracks and cry. And I was like, why am I crying? No one else is crying. Why is it just me? And so I started just having that introspection. And it was because of my stepdad. So I never healed any of that. I just ignored it, brushed it away. It was hidden under the rug. But when the trainers were yelling at us and having us do all these things, that's when I was being triggered. So I started healing. I started looking into okay, what can I do? And I would pray and nothing would happen. So then I looked at other ways, and it was calling in the angels, asking for help from beings that you can't see with the naked eye. And I started doing that, and all these things started to turn around. And then just different types of healing, writing down a letter to my stepdad. I don't know where he's at, but I wrote it to the intention that it was for him. And I said, this is what you did to me. This is how I felt. This is what it did to me. And this is who I became. And then I burned it. And with that burning, I also released a lot. And then I just felt good. So it's like all that energy that I was carrying just came off. So then I just started doing different types of things, started healing myself, working on that. And then fast forward, I got a full-time job with the Army National Guard. So actually that counts as active duty, which is really nice. And one of my soldiers had gotten deployed that works with me full-time. And he came back from deployment, and he was going through a divorce. And so they got him out of work for a while just so he can figure out his personal life. Then his wife calls us and said, hey, he wrote a letter. He's going to go kill himself. She called the cops. They were able to find him because his phone was on, which is awesome that they have that technology. And then they, after discussion with his mental health practitioner, they decided to bring him back to work just so he wasn't by himself alone. And, he had people to be social with. So before he left, handsome guy, blue eyes, he came back, and I've never seen this before. His physiology changed. He was he looked like a corpse. His eyes were dark. I had never seen that in a person. And I could feel that energy. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, what can I do to help him? Because I didn't have what I'm doing now, master's degree, in psychology. I didn't have that. So I was like, what can I do to help him now? Where I don't have to go be a therapist or be a counselor and wait all this time to help him. How can I help him now? So that's what got me into sound therapy. So I had a Native American drum with me, and I know that if you have vibrations on your body, that'll clear any stagnant energy or any stuck energy that's on your body. So I said, this is just YouTube stuff that I looked up, and Googled. So I said, hey, would you mind if I just drummed over your body just because you might have stuck energies? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but at this point, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. So I went outside of the office, and we have a couch in our office. And I said, okay, I'm not going to touch you or anything. Just close your eyes. And if you're willing to receive, just, say that in your mind or say it out loud. And we'll call your spirit team in and whoever else you want to call in, whoever you believe in. He's like, okay. And I go, and don't get up right away. If you want to nap, if you want to, whatever your body feels, do it. You're not going to get in trouble. You're fine.
Yeah.
I drummed over his body for 45 minutes. The drumming, after a while, it almost sounds like chimes. It's actually very, very beautiful. And you could feel the vibrations, but it's not just for him. I could feel the healing in myself as well. So after we did a 45-minute session, he got up. I think he slept an extra hour, and then he got up and he said, I've never felt that much peace ever in my life. So I was like, okay, wow. And then everyone in the building found out about it. So I think I drummed 7 other soldiers, to include a major and a first sergeant.
Oh, wow.
Skeptical. And they're like, wow, this is really powerful. And some of them would release, some of them would start to, cry. And I'm like, I'm not going to judge you. Do whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to release. So then my arms started getting tired after all the drumming. So I was like, okay, how can I reach more people at once without having to do one at a time with the drum? And that's where I found the crystal bowls. You can,
Yeah.
30 people in a room, and that's all you got to do is just use the crystal bowls.
Yeah, the group of people.
Oh, yeah. And so that's a more softer way of clearing. The drum is more intense. You can feel your body is literally vibrating. It's really powerful. I wish you were nearby. I would love to do that for you.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to feel it.
It's really amazing. And like I said, I don't have to touch anyone or anything. We don't have to talk about personal issues. None of that. It does it on its own. And so music is very powerful, right? If you hit the right frequency, you can break glass. If you hit the right frequency, you can lift objects. So it's the same thing with your body. If you get the right frequencies, you can get to a meditative state, stress-free, remove those energies that are stuck, or at least loosen them up so that you can feel more at peace. And
Mhm.
we're human beings, not human doings. So we need to just be, just relax, not
Yeah.
crazy and on the go. And I think that's what causes a lot of our mental health is we're always on the go, 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 go. There's no breaks. There's no time for us. We
Mhm.
never stop. So having that time to like just relax can be very healing just in and of itself. So I started doing that. Then I did it at my church, which is a spiritual church. And I was like, okay, I need to just, what else can I do to help more people? How can I do healing on a deeper level?
Mhm.
And then that's where I got into light language.
Mm. So that was the thing that had a question on too. So when you got into light language, did it just start coming through? Like, how did that like even like come into fruition? Was it you
Um,
caught
so
in for a while?
I've always, like I said, I've always loved to sing.
Mhm.
And I know, like, I used to sing the Ave Maria in Latin, and people would just be emotional. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, well, if I can change the way someone feels just with my voice, how do I use it for healing?
Mhm.
So I started looking up stuff, and then I coincidentally bumped into a guy that does light language, Ken Lloyd and Sheila Seppi, and I had a one-on-one with them as well to get activated for my own light language, which you
Mhm.
don't have to learn it. It's something that you remember. Like we all
Mm.
have the gifts. We all have the same gifts. Some we're better at than others uh,
Mhm.
because we use it a lot. But it's just a remembrance, right? Remembering who we are, our power. Light language is like a multidimensional form of communication through
Mhm.
sounds. It bypasses the logical mind, but your soul and your subconscious mind understand it, even if you don't understand it.
Mhm.
So I did that with myself. I had the one-on-one session, and funny enough, I was taking. This is kind of embarrassing, but I'm gonna share it anyway because I'm very open. So I had
Mhm.
toenail fungus on 3 toes on my left foot for a while. And you're always in boots. You don't have time to let your feet
Yeah,
breathe.
it's hard to take care of
Yeah.
it.
So I was like, oh my gosh, but it was only on that foot. Like
Mm.
never got into the other foot. And I did everything to try to get rid of it. I even did laser, uh,
Mm.
the laser for the toenail. And I was taking I think it was terzepatide is what it's called. Nothing works. So I had this one-on-one session with the light language practitioners. And I was like, toenail fungus. That's what I have. And the guy was like, it's just energy. If you can be specific in the intent, you can remove it. I don't
Mm.
have it anymore.
Dang.
Light language. So I was like, okay, I really need to do this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm actually doing it this Sunday at our spiritual church. I'll
Okay.
be doing the sound bowls while also singing light language. You can speak it, you can sing it, you can hum it,
Mhm.
and you'll feel that in your body. And I practiced with another one of our classmates. She says she felt a lot coming off. So, and that
Mm.
was just through Zoom. It wasn't in person.
That was just Zoom.
Pretty cool. Yeah. So, and I'm also going to a light language retreat in October in Florida to anchor more of that in,
Mm.
right? Because if ascended masters were able to heal, we have that ability as well. We've forgotten.
Yeah,
And there's
definitely.
different methods, and everyone, whatever works for people, go
Mhm.
with it. But this is what I'm like really attracted and called to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I definitely believe that we all have our own specific things that we're meant to do, and we can feel it. We can feel it in our body too. So
Mhm.
once we're really attracted to something, it's like, okay, that my soul is feeling that.
Yes.
But that's so interesting. The light language is always well, when I first heard about it, it definitely interested me. I follow this girl named Erin Lyons, and she does the light language chanting.
I follow her too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She was actually who I first heard it from, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
but then I did a sound healing. I think I told you about that too.
Yes.
I went to a sound healing, and I happened to be right next to the sound bowls, and they had the gong and everything. So I
Yeah.
felt like all the vibrations going through my body, and I could literally feel when I was laying there, I could feel it going up my spine, and it would stop at certain chakras and like stay there for a little while and then go back up, and I felt like it was like, though there was stuck energy there, it was
Yes.
clearing.
Yes. Yes. So the drum, the Native American drum, I
Mhm.
knew when the chakra was off balance because the music of the drum was off. So then I
Mm.
just kept drumming the same spot,
Mm.
and then I'd go over again and then do it again, and then it would clear. So
Mm.
music is very powerful.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I enjoyed, and I definitely believe, because we're all like frequency and vibration, so I definitely believe the
Yes.
music, the singing plays a big part. I was even recently at this Goddess Day thing where we did different workshops, and uh there was a time where one of the girls started, she was playing like a little instrument, and she was singing, I'm pretty sure she was singing in light language, and certain parts everyone started joining in on, and it was crazy because like my eyes were closed. I don't know if everyone else's were, but just in having my eyes closed and like joining in on the singing, like I could feel the connection of us all.
Yeah. Which is what we are. We're all one. We're all connected.
Mhm.
It took me a while to realize that, but I mean, we see it in everything. We see it in Mother Nature. We see it in Earth. If you look at a body without the skin, you can see the veins. All of that looks exactly like the roots of a tree.
Mhm.
And if you look at a leaf under a microscope, it looks like a thumbprint. If you
Mhm.
open a pine cone right in the middle, it looks like our pineal gland. Uh,
Yeah.
so there's, I mean, and we're like what, 80% water or whatever the number
Yeah,
is.
yeah, we're
We're
definitely
all
like,
connected. It,
mhm,
it just, and once we realize that, I think that starts to get us into more, I mean, just not just healing, but more awareness, more compassion
mhm.
towards other people.
Yeah. It definitely, it once you're aware, it's like you're tuned into it. So you
Yeah.
see all the synchronicities and the different things that like come at the right time, and
Yes.
and none of it is coincidence. That's actually one of our classes we were studying. I don't know if it was the metaphors and symbols class. I know you're not in that one with me, but um one of the classes this week, the discussion was about, or the lecture was about synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking about how it's not necessarily science based, but you can't deny it. Like once you start really seeing synchronicities and things that just happen, right at the right time, and
Yeah.
so it's pretty crazy. But yeah, so you said that you're I'm interested to hear a little bit more about I guess like the results that you've seen in people after the sound bowls and the because you're doing like groups and stuff.
Yeah, I do. I'll do them here at work once a month.
Hmm.
The light language I haven't done yet. The guys in my office are comfortable with it. Everyone else is still kind of like, that's like,
Hmm.
ooh." So I'm just going with the flow of, like when I feel like they're ready, I'll do it subtly.
Hmm.
But not right now. I think the sound bowls is good enough, or
Yeah.
the sound baths for right now. But the church I go to, they're very open to it.
Mhm.
So, and that does bring in big crowds. So I'm going to be doing that for the first time this Sunday. But what I have noticed is people will say like after like a sound bath, like, oh, I used to have pain on my left side of my leg. It's no longer
Mhm.
there. Or, you know, my third eye was activated, just little things. And the more they come, the more gets released or unblocked. So there's a lot of little subtle things. For my coworker specifically, and I think I did more because I did more sessions with him. Um, he's healthy. He's married now, has a baby on the way, and he's very happy and he's very positive. He
Mm.
was not, he was like the old mentality army where like I'm a higher rank, you do what I say, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
You could say things respectfully, but he was like hardcore. And I was like, okay, you don't
Yeah.
have to be that much. Complete opposite.
Right.
Yeah,
Dang.
complete opposite. So
That's crazy.
it's been pretty awesome to see that. But I think it's on the person as well.
Mhm.
If you want to continue to do that inner work,
Mhm.
your inner your internal self will show in your external life. So the more you work on yourself internally, the
Mhm.
more your external life will blossom.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that definitely is something I've experienced for sure. Um, it's just interesting because I know, and I don't want to say. So when I was at Wounded Warrior Battalion, they seemed a little more open to things, but the Marine Corps is definitely one of those hardcore old,
Mhm.
like fear-based leading type of thing. And so it would be interesting to see, like, but I do believe that, you know, the divine orchestration, if that's something you start doing and it works, like those people are going to start to come to you. So whether
Yes.
you're in the service or not. But I'm definitely excited for the future for our service members, because I do have like a special place in my heart for just because I was in the Marine Corps for 14 years. So
Right.
I definitely hope that they can get the help they need, because there's a lot of I know just in seeing, there was a lot of Marines that definitely needed help with the, you know, they had the binge drinking all the time, and it's just really bad. So
I think it's getting better. It's definitely come a long way from where it was before.
mhm,
And then the younger generation, I feel like they're already conscious. So
mhm,
they're the ones that are replacing us and coming in. So
mhm.
I think it's just going to continue to get better.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, basically.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Because I do see a difference in the younger generation and them being more open to things that our generation wasn't.
Yes, yes, they're a lot more open. They're a lot more, I guess, embracing of everything. They don't see color. Um, it's just beautiful to see.
Hmm.
Um, I do know, like, because a lot of people, right? The military has a stigma, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, if you go in the military, you're automatically going to go to war. You're going to do this. There's a lot of suicide, but that's not the thing. The thing is, when you join the military, it can be really hard. It can be out of your comfort zone that you get triggered. So if
Hmm.
you don't have a good foundation, your childhood,
Hmm.
it's gonna tumble in the military. That
Yeah.
everything else. So like let's say you did see something crazy in the military, you did do something crazy in the military, and you have a really stable, solid foundation, more than likely you will get through it just on your own because
Yeah.
you've learned that is your program. But if your program is chaos, 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 and then you add more chaos, right? Then that's suicide. Then that's all these other things that can happen. Uh,
Yeah.
so for me, it was a blessing that I was triggered because when I see the triggers, oh,
Hmm.
okay, that's automatic sign for me. That's I need to work on it. Why is this triggering?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I've been able to work on it because of the military.
Yeah.
And this is where I found spirituality was in the military.
In the military.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's crazy because I don't know why, but because I had the rough childhood too. And then I felt like it almost got me ready for boot camp, to where I was just already numbed and like hardened, and um it didn't really bother me. The boot camp, you know, and Marine Corps boot camp is supposed to be like the toughest one, but it like didn't really bother me that much. I was like helping others get through it and stuff like that. But I will say, I think the fact that I was so into physical fitness, like, and the fact that like now going through these classes that we're going through, I didn't even realize that was a spiritual practice, you know, like, and that was probably releasing a lot of things I didn't realize, because I leaned on that like through all of high school. The sports was really the reason I actually did better in school, because I just wanted to be able to play. And so
Yeah, I think your armor, you kept your armor up because that's what protected you. You felt
mhm,
protected in your armor.
yeah. And so I really didn't even like, I put on this positive mask in the military where I was this like positive motivational, like I'd give like motivational speeches to the Marines. I'd be, you know, I'd have that heart-centered leadership instead of the fear-based leadership, um, which got hated on a lot of the times, but I didn't care. I was like, "Shit, I'm just doing what I feel is right."
Right. Right.
But I didn't even have a real big spiritual awakening until after I got out of the military. But I will say when that so recruiting duty was the worst time that I had in the military. I was like, that was the time I got depressed. I was just taking everything personal. And then I turned it around with my perspective and everything and stopped taking things personal and just focused more on helping people. But I was still carrying a lot of that, because even once I left recruiting duty, I was always talking about how it messed me up. Like I was bodybuilding and doing well before I went on recruiting duty. And it just, recruiting duty was the reason, like, I'm not doing well anymore. Like just blaming, just blaming it. But then when I started doing like mushrooms and LSD with my ex, like I actually released a lot of that, because he got upset that I poured it out while we were taking it. But I just like poured it all out about recruiting duty. And after that, like I didn't feel the same emotional charge to it anymore. I didn't talk about it the same.
Yeah, it helped you release that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's definitely different things that I didn't realize were spiritual while I was in, but but yeah, I had my real big spiritual awakening after I got out. But I was leaving all kinds of toxic. It was a toxic command,
Yeah.
a toxic relationship I was in. And then I realized that my best friend of like 12 years was, I mean, I knew that she had her things about her, because I could tell, how she treated her husbands.
Mhm.
I just I never told her how I felt about how she treated them. But
Yeah.
then it was like, once I left my ex, I saw how she had all these traits that I didn't even see that were towards me. So it was like I was blind to it until
Mhm.
um, till that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so but I don't want to talk too much about me. This is more about you and like your story. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, when I'm doing like the crystal bowl is a light language, that's not even, obviously, that's not a job in the military.
yeah.
My job is actually, so I work full time with the Army National Guard for
Mhm.
the Homeland Response Force. Specifically under that, it's called the Seaburn Task Force.
Mhm.
Seaburn, chemical, biological,
Oh
radiological,
yeah.
nuclear.
Mhm.
So we get activated if there is any incident regarding any of those, chemical, biological,
Mhm.
radiological, nuclear. We get activated for that by the governor. So for like COVID, for example, we got activated to do testing sites.
Mhm.
We had a crash not too long ago over here in Washington. It was two Navy pilots, so we got activated to go clear that out and
Mhm.
do that. So anything that has to do with whether it's a natural disaster or a man-made disaster, we get activated for that. And we're
Mhm.
comprised of a decontamination team, search
Mhm.
and extraction team, medical team. Then we have the command and control, which I'm in there. I'm the logistics officer. And then we have fatality search and recovery team.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get activated to do things like that. And so
Okay.
that's what I do full time.
Yeah.
Just on my downtime, then I like to incorporate, the
Yeah.
sound baths and the light language, and then just speaking to the soldiers about their own healing. And the military is tough. I've even thought, okay, do I need to continue doing this? But I
Mhm.
always think about the soldiers, because who's going to be their voice, right?
Yeah.
And the light is needed everywhere.
Mhm.
You can't change anything if you're not in the system. It's
Yeah.
easier to make changes when you're in the system, not outside of it. So I always think of the soldiers.
Yeah.
I can take care of them. And then my kids decide to join, which actually my daughter is joining the Air Force. Then I would hope,
Okay.
that's a domino effect, and they can also take care of her.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely believe that. That was honestly the reason I stayed 14 years, because like I could have got out after recruiting duty, but I wanted to go back. And it was really like just seeing how motivated the poolies were, the future Marines. And I was like, I want to go back to the fleet and just remind the Marines why they joined in the first place,
Yes.
you know? And
Yes.
so I felt like I was able to do that at my next unit. So I do feel like, everything happens for a reason. So I did what I needed to do there. And there was a reason I was like shown, like basically led to get out. So,
Yeah.
And plus like, it was just, I had gotten pregnant with my son. And so, yeah, I just had to, I didn't want to, because in the Marine Corps, it was just really hard on female Marines that have children and stuff. It was like you have to choose to be like a good mother or a good Marine. Because if you're like choosing your kids and getting out of things, they like a lot of Marines look down upon that. So
Yeah. Which is ironic, because you would think that you would want to nurture the future, right?
mhm.
The future Marines, the future soldiers, and so
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah, that's true. Um, But I do feel like in my the last unit, I did have a female Marine under me right after I had my son, and I was able to kind of help her and stick up for her. Because she got pregnant like after I had my son.
Oh, wow.
but yeah. Um, but anyways, like so as far as, I don't know, I guess I'm still interested in like the light language and how does that even feel? How does it feel when it even comes through?
In the beginning, it felt like gibberish, right? Like, okay, I'm talking
Mhm.
nonsense. And so when I had my first session with Sheila
Mhm.
Seppi, she's like, it's just gonna come out. Just keep doing it and it'll come
Mhm.
out. So it's kind of like an affirmation, right? If you
Mhm.
say, I don't know, I am powerful, I am powerful. After a while, you will believe it. That will
Yeah.
be so. If you say, I am a piece of shit all the time, that will be so. So it's
Mhm.
the same thing with the light language. You practice it, building up that muscle, and it
Mhm.
just comes out naturally.
Mm.
And then everyone has a different experience to it. Like you can feel it in your
Yeah.
body. You'll feel it, and it'll go down to the DNA level. So I
Yeah.
just feel like it's just an amazing tool, and I want to get better at it.
Mhm.
And I know with practice, uh, you'll start to get different uploads. I used to say downloads, but they're
Yeah.
uploads because we already are.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do say downloads all the time,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
it's not,
that
because
makes sense.
we already are. We already have everything. It just
Yeah.
either needs to be awakened or activated because it's dormant. Like they say junk DNA. I don't believe that. It needs
Yeah.
to be activated, and whether that's healing, whether that's remembering, doing whatever we have to do to get there.
Mhm.
Um,
That's true. I did study Dr. Samuel Lee's 12-strand DNA.
yes, I follow him too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know we have the DNA within us. It's just awakening the strands, basically.
Yes, yes. And then he also talks about the throat chakra in the back. There's another one that needs to be activated as well. So even just putting your intent, everyone focuses here, but if you
Mhm.
put your intent on the back as well, you can activate that. And you could just
Mhm.
hum. You don't have to sing. You don't have to, oh, I have to do light language.
Mhm.
No, it could just be humming or anything, right? Because the throat is like the voice, it's where you
Mhm.
speak from. So whatever feels comfortable, if it's just humming,
Mhm.
focusing on that area,
Mhm.
all of it, 360 if you
Oh,
want,
okay.
it'll activate that as well.
Oh, that's interesting because I have done the humming, but I've been like focused on, like you said, the front. I've
Just
never focused on the
focus on
back.
the whole thing, because then we're missing the other side.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I've been working with the throat chakra a lot too because of just being able to speak my truth and putting that and I've gotten good at speaking my truth and putting it online. Um, but there's definitely, yeah, it's definitely a lot of subconscious programming to work through. So
Yes. Yes. That's all it is our programming.
hmm
Yeah. And people ask, well, how do you unprogram yourself? Find something, like if it's affirmations, if
hmm
it's, a different healing modality, some people do yoga, some people practice martial arts, like, because that's
hmm
all healing as well.
yeah,
You're using your energy for something. If it's
for sure.
swimming, if it's journaling,
hmm
whatever works for people, do that. Whatever feels good to your body, do that.
hmm
So repetition is what helps
yeah.
program yourself.
Yeah, I've definitely been, since I've been doing the inner work, I've been led to start doing things that I used to love, like dancing and stuff. And so I was like, I haven't like danced in a while. So now I'll just like turn on music and like dance in the house with my son.
Yeah. And you'll find that when you do those things, the things that bring you to your greatest and highest joy, you'll
hmm
get more uploads.
hmm
Or
Yeah.
you'll get like something will come to your mind. You're like, oh, I never thought of that. I better write that down. So you'll
Yeah.
get ideas and clues and cues and all of that.
hmm I do get a lot of like realizations and like, I feel like daily now I get just different realizations and different things that hit me. So it's pretty cool to just be on this side of the veil, I guess, and be aware of it and conscious of it. And
Yes.
just seeing the seeing it unravel.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to hold you too long. I do usually ask a closing wisdom question to all of my guests. And that question is just really like, so if you could say that there is one truth about our divinity that you found, what would that truth be?
Love is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Love is everything.
I
Whatever
love
question you have about anything, if
mm-hmm.
it has to do with love, then that's the answer, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean, oh, okay, well, Paula just said that, my husband who's beating me, I have to be, I have to show him love even though he's beating me. No, there's discernment as well, right? Because
Yeah.
it's love in all ways. That just because you love someone and they're not healthy towards you doesn't mean you have to be with them.
Yeah, yeah. So
Love,
I've had a lot of people say love, but I do believe that people misconstrue what love actually means. And I believe that love is like loving yourself enough to have those boundaries, like you said, like to have those
yes,
boundaries with people, and not allow people to do certain things because you can love people from afar.
yes,
And that's what I realized even with my ex. There were so many things. I used to call him the N-word narcissist. But I don't even say that. I don't really talk about it like that anymore because that's the words narcissist and all those other words that people are coming up with, even toxic, that's all like illusion of separation. And those are all things that need to be healed within the collective.
yeah,
But I do believe I've healed so much to where I thank him for all the crazy evil things that he tried to do to me, because it really pushed me to figure out the universe, basically.
Yeah. And I think those things happen on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So like like an introspection of myself and the relationships that didn't work, I always used to blame them. Oh, well, he was
Mm-hmm.
like this and he did this. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, wait a minute. What am I doing? Why does
Mm-hmm.
he treat me like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it's just reflecting what I believe in myself. I
Right.
didn't think I was worthy at that time. So he
Mm-hmm.
was showing me that I wasn't worthy because that's what I believed in myself.
Right.
So it was more like a mirror. And I'm not saying everyone's a mirror. I think sometimes people are attracted to your light, to your energy, and they
Yeah.
want that. So
That.
that doesn't always mean that what they're showing is how you are or what you believe in yourself. It could
Mm-hmm.
also be like a magnet. They want a part of that. But
Yeah.
my past relationships, I did feel like that was a mirror. They were
Mm-hmm.
just confirming to me what I already thought of myself.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's definitely true. I feel like my ex was a mirror and a magnet, basically, because so in my human design, I'm a generator. So I naturally am able to do all the things I need to do to manifest something. And
Mhm.
so I've done that for other people in the past, where I'm like building, me and this other guy, we built this whole team together. And I was the whole reason that it got built to where it was. And I didn't realize he was like using me for that, and it might have been subconscious, but um that's the same thing that my ex was doing too. We were building businesses together, and I was the one doing all the work, and he was sitting back, talking to all his friends about how he has all these houses and this and that, and I was never once put in there.
Yeah.
But he definitely was reflecting back the worth that I didn't feel,
Right.
basically.
Right. And
And
yeah.
go ahead.
And you so yeah, love, like I said, love is the answer. And so that doesn't mean that you have to fake to be happy, that you have to fake love. If you're not feeling it, one thing that I do, because sometimes, I mean, we're human beings, right? We're here to
Yeah.
experience all the rage of emotions, all the
Mm-hmm.
full range of emotions, not just love.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is like the first thing that we do when we're born is we breathe, and we
Mm-hmm.
breathe fully. Now
Mm-hmm.
we don't breathe correctly. It's like
Yeah.
halfway. When you breathe and take deep, full breaths, you're
Mm-hmm.
activating parts of your brain that typically would not be activated. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
when you're having a baby, they're like, okay, take a deep, full breath. That's why
Yeah.
there's so you're upset. They're like, okay, take a deep breath because it helps regulate your nervous system. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, activate parts that are not activated. So when you're like, okay, well, I don't feel like love right now. I don't feel like I need to be portraying love. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a couple minutes out, take deep breaths, however you feels good to you.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on that, and then come back to doing what you want. Go out in
Mm-hmm.
nature, go swimming. You don't have to fake something. Just
Yeah.
get yourself like in a like regulated, balanced energy, and that's good
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. And breath work is huge, because
enough.
I honestly, I take deep breaths. And this only started in January. Like before that, I wasn't conscious of that really. But now, like, I literally like take deep breaths throughout the day because it definitely does help. Yeah, it definitely helps. And just the fact that we grew up with that. And that's what that was one of the things I remembered, was that I chose my parents. I chose the things I was going to go through because I needed to learn self-love. And that was the thing I was missing my whole life. Like I thought I was alone, and unworthy, and all those things. And so even still, like, it's a daily thing. Like I have to keep up with and it's not necessarily just the affirmations, but the feeling that you feel when you say it too. It's like a certain way to say things, to really feel it. And
Right.
so I do literally have to like work on it every day, because just with so much of that, it was 38 years of
I
'cause I'm 39 now, but it was literally 38 years of all that, feeling unworthy. So
agree. I tell my soldiers, because a lot of them tell me, well, I don't believe that I'm powerful, or I don't believe this about myself. So how am I going to say something that I don't believe?
mhm.
Then I was like, okay, word it differently. I am beginning to believe in myself. I
Yeah.
am beginning to love myself. I am allowing love to come into my life.
Mhm.
Things that that is more believable than something that you don't yet believe.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
because I can understand that as well, because I was there too. I'm like, well,
Yeah. It's like you gotta gradually
yeah,
work
'cause
your
you're,
way.
you're you're faking it to yourself, even though you already are powerful. It's just
Yeah.
um
I do believe that. So the reason I had my big awakening was I did the affirmations like it was like 3 times a day. So it was breath work. I just dove in. It was like breath work, affirmations, and I think what really like dug it into was the movement mantra. I would do hill sprints, and while I was doing the hill sprints, I would literally like yell out like I am powerful, I am capable of
yes,
extraordinary things. And I feel like that's why my awakening was so big, because I was like saying these big things and I could feel the energy like moving, like surging in my body when I was saying them.
right. So the military is big on physical fitness.
Yeah.
And I tell my soldiers, okay, right, you have to be cognizant of what you're feeding your body, but what are you feeding your mind?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's even more
More
powerful,
powerful.
what you're feeding your mind.
Yeah.
So, starting to get them into that. And for the National Guard, so the way the National Guard works is the same as a reserve, right? You
Mhm.
drill 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in the summer. So
Mhm.
even though I'm full time, I
Mhm.
still have to drill 1 week in a month. So for my
Mhm.
weekend job, I'm actually the commander for a recruiting and retention company. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of, young kids coming out of high school. I mean, they're all ages, but the majority is right out of high school. So
Right.
I love that I have that to talk to them and
Mhm.
to inspire and encourage them and just share my experiences as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really it's different too when you're in uniform and you're speaking to like civilians that are about to come in. When I was on
Mhm.
recruiting duty, I do believe that even though it was like my lowest time in my career, the times that I was in front of the kids and the community, it was like the way they looked at me was like definitely was like a good feeling, because it was like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
dang, like, they
yeah,
like really look up to me. So, you know, it's definitely a good feeling to be able to like inspire the community and the younger people. So
I agree.
okay, well, where can people get a hold of you if they want to like, if maybe they want a sound bath session with you or something?
Oh wow, I don't have a website or anything because
Yeah.
this has all been just me helping out soldiers. I'm on
Yeah.
Facebook. I don't know if you're able to add the link or not, and
Yeah.
Instagram. So I can send those to you, and then you're more than welcome to add. And anyone can reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The most important things in life are not things; they're people.
Mm-hmm. People. Yeah.
Right. So if I don't get back to you right away, like I will get eventually back to you. So
Mm-hmm.
just any questions about life or anything at all, I'm an open door. I can speak
Yeah.
all of that, and based off of my experience, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm not certified in any way to give out like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but
Yeah.
I definitely share the things that have worked for me, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm just going to continue to do that as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand most of the people that I have on my podcast usually they have their website and they're looking for clients, but I understand that if you have a full plate, I don't want to put too much more on your plate either. So
I'm good. I love to speak with people. I feel like that's my mission is
Mhm.
to help others heal
Yeah.
if they so choose to, and if it's part of
Mhm.
their contract.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was definitely good to have you on as a guest today. I'm glad that you came on. It's been fun, you know, being in class with you too. So
Likewise. Thank you.
all right. Well, I will end it on that note. You guys have a great rest of your day.